Salvete discipuli. The focus grammatically of chapter 29 is something I like to call pairing pronouns or adjectives. So adjectives are words that describe nouns or words that replace nouns. Sometimes these types of words, like the special adjectives you've encountered, they might be next to a noun, agreeing with it and describing it, such as ile puer, that boy, or you can just have the word by itself, ile, so that's understood noun, or more loosely, he. So they can be pronouns and adjectives. And the reason why I call them pairing is because they are all related to one or the other. So there are three pronouns or adjectives. So just to recap, words that either replace, they can both replace or describe nouns that exist when relating to one noun in a choice of only two nouns, or as opposed to just one other noun. So when we're talking about pairs of things. So for those of you who have seen The Matrix, when Neo is given the choice between the red pill and the blue pill, and that, by the way, is the picture I've used for the PowerPoint for this word. It is alter, altera, and alterum. So this word declines, not quite an adjective, it's the rarer adjective. So if you know how to decline miser, that is how the masculine declines. Obviously, the is just like any first declension, and is any second declension neuter like bellum. Miser declines like puer, so it doesn't drop the letter E in the stem. So therefore, like puer, puer, puerum. Therefore, a masculine would be alter, alter, alterum. What does that word mean? That word means one or the other. So the first time you say it, it means one thing. And the second time you say it, it means the other of the two things. By the way, it is like a miser, misera, miserum. So it is like an adjective, but with the very important exception that its genitive and dative singular forms follow those special rules. So if you say of one or the other thing, it's eos, 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 alterius, eos, eos. And if you say for or to one or the other thing, or noun, whatever it is, it's alteri, re, re. So it's alter. So if you want to just decline it very quickly in your head, going across the genders, alter, altera, alterum, alterum, ram, rum, and then genitive exception, alterius, rius, rius, dative exception, alteri, re, re, and ablative, altero, ra, ro. You can have it in the plural. If I were with you here in class, I'd ask you a question, when could it be plural? Because you're kind of one of many things, but I'll just let you know the answer. It can be plural for those very rare nouns which are plural in form. So say, for example, the word for camp is castra, which is neuter plural. So you would have to put alter if you say one camp and the other and the other camp. So you would have to make it neuter plural, but that is very, very rare. For the most part, they are just singular. The next one is uter, utra, utrum. So as you can see with the stem, I've made it tra and trum. Unlike alter, this one drops the E in its stem. So if you know how to decline ager, ager, not agerum, agrum. This is how that declines. So if you want to decline the masculine, uter, 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 utrum, the feminine, utra, utra, utram, and the neuter, utrum, 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 for example. And its meaning, as you can see, it's expressed as a question. So it's a question. So it's which of the two? So there is a cartoon I've made, and it says, which of the two people in this picture from The Simpsons is Uta? Uta is a very minor German visitor in The Simpsons. So which of the two boys is Uta? Uta is the German one. So again, so one major difference is it's still an adjective, but this one declines like this one is for the most part like ager, so drops the e in the stem. But what is similar is it also goes eos and e in a genitive dative singular. So if you were to say which man, which woman, which thing, so nominative would be uta, utra, utrum, accusative trum, tram, trum, genitive trius, 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 dative tree, 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 ablative tro, tra, tro. And again, the only time you would ever see this in the plural is if you're using it to describe a noun which is plural in form but singular in meaning. Again, very rare. And the last of the three, not to get mixed up with uta, just remember which of the two boys is uta is a good way to remember. That's the question. This one's similar but slightly different. It is utaque, utraque, utrumque. So it declines exactly the same as uta, so drops the e, and it's genitive dative singular exception. But it has to have a que suffix, so it declines, but it always ends in que, and this means each of two. So again, it's genitive dative singular forms eos, and ee. And it's always followed by que. So you've encountered this sort of thing before with cool. Hang on, I think you've only encountered it with quidam. So quidam, quidam, quadam, a certain man, a certain woman, a certain thing. So it's like qui, qui, quad, and you add dam on the end. So the qui, qui, quad declines, has different endings, but it always has to end in dam. So if you still don't understand that, then just to decline each of two. So if you say, if you're talking about two boys and you say each boy has a red jumper. So you'd say utaque, utraque, utrumque, and then trumque, tramque, trumque, triusque, 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 dative, trique, 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 ablative, troque, traque, troque. So it's exactly the same as uta, utra, utrum, but you just have que on the end, and it means each of two rather than the question which of two. And once more, just like the other two, it would only be in the plural if you're describing something, a noun which is plurally informed, singular in meaning. There are very few of them, like the word, as I keep saying, like the word camp. So just to give you some examples before you start the exercises on this, I'll just scroll down a little bit. So to put them in examples, so just remember again, they can be pronouns. So if you just say alter and that's it, it's obviously one boy. If you say altera, altera, it's like one feminine thing, one girl or woman or any feminine noun, the other feminine noun. So it could be a pronoun, but yeah, if you have a noun next to it, then clearly it describes that like an adjective. So like any other adjective, remember they have to agree with the nouns they describe if there is a noun next to it in number, gender, and case. So for example, alter, as I was saying, alter, alter. So that you can see is masculine nominative singular. So one man subject and the other man subject. So you could say one man likes apples, the other man likes oranges. So alter, alter. The first time you say alter, it's one of two. And the second time you say alter, it's the second of those two nouns. To use ute. Utrum saxum est tuum. So if there are two rocks, great sentence. I'm just trying to use different nouns of different genders just to show you that these words decline. So people do have pet rocks. Don't know if you do, but just people do. Anyway, that's a sentence. So as you can see, it has to agree with saxum, which is neuter, singular, nominative, and also tuum agrees too. So which of the two, if there are two rocks, which of the two rocks is yours? Utrum, saxum, est tuum. And the last sentence is, so I'll just highlight the light here. That said with. Libros utraque, so that's a long A because it's ablative. Manu, so see how has to have the que ending, but manu is ablative feminine singular. So manus, manus, manum, manus, manui, manu. And utraque is ablative feminine. So if you go through it, it would be, so the feminine forms, uter, uter, utra, utrumque, trumquem, trumque, tramque, trumque, and then the exception, triesque, 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 trique, 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 and then the middle of these ones, tro, tro, tra, troque. So it's ablative feminine singular. So if it were any other adjective, like normal sort of first, second declension adjective, it would be like say for example, a big with his big hand. You would say pawa manu, but this form you decline the ending, and but it always has to have that que suffix or ending. So yeah, when you're talking about things like hands and feet and like body parts where you have two of them, yeah, you can say one. You can talk about one or the other, which of two or each of two. So he carries books. Yeah, you don't have to say in utraque manu. You can just say utraque manu. It's in each hand, but literally it's with each hand. So yeah, that's basically it. So generally, if you've seen these sorts of adjectives before, these forms. So just to recap, alter is like, alter declines like, or the masculine anyway, declines like puer. And the feminine and neuter and masculine, they do not drop the letter E. Uter, utra, utrum, as you can see, I haven't put uter and then just so I'm just showing you there by saying tra, trum, that does drop the E. So uter declines like ager, agrum. So if you know how to decline that, you know how to decline uter. Utra, utram. Yeah, so the feminine and neuter don't have an E at all. Yeah. And uterque, yeah, that's exactly the same as uter. So like ager, except you just have to add a que to the end. And all of them, even though I have said they decline like puer and ager respectively, just remember that they follow those special rules. So I guess there's no vocative, speaking of which, but the genitive, dative, singular forms, they go against the grain, and they do that exception where it's genitive, is, and dative, e. Okay, so that's a wrap for pairing pronouns and adjectives. Well, later.